Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins ever struck by the United States Mint, the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. This isn't your ordinary penny that you might find lying around or collecting dust in an old coin jar. This particular coin, the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, has captured the attention of collectors and experts all around the world because of its extraordinary story, unique composition, and the jaw-dropping value it now holds on the collector's market, an estimated $4 million. That's right, a single penny, just 1 cent in face value, could be worth a fortune if you're lucky enough to have the right one. Now, before you dismiss this as impossible or exaggerated, stay with me as we go through the full history, the details, the mistakes, and everything that makes this coin one of the most famous era coins in US history. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this coin is so valuable, what makes it so rare, and how you can identify if you might actually have one of these rare 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies in your possession. Let's start by going back to the year 1982. This was a huge year for the Lincoln cent series because the US Mint made a major change in the coin's composition. Before 1982, all Lincoln pennies were made mostly of copper, about 95% copper and 5% zinc. But as the price of copper began to rise in the late 1970s and early 1980s, it started costing the US government more than 1 cent to make a 1-cent coin. That created a major problem for the Mint, and they needed to find a cheaper solution. So, in 1982, the Mint decided to switch from copper to a copper-plated zinc composition. The new pennies were made of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper coating. But here's where things got confusing. During the transition, both types of pennies, the old copper ones and the new zinc ones, were produced in the same year, 1982. On top of that, there were multiple varieties because the Mint also changed the size of the date font that year, creating large date and small date versions for both the copper and zinc coins. In total, there were 7 different variations of 1982 Lincoln cents produced, and among those, the one that would become the most famous and valuable was the 1982 no-mint mark penny struck on a copper planchet instead of the new zinc one. It's one of those rare mistakes that should never have happened, but somehow did. The no-mint mark variety comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time didn't use a mint mark on its pennies. Denver used a D mint mark, San Francisco used an S for proofs, but Philadelphia coins were left blank. That means when you look at a 1982 no-mint mark penny, you're looking at one made in Philadelphia. Now, the story takes a wild turn when collectors realize that one particular 1982 penny with no mint mark was struck on a copper planchet when it should have been struck on the new zinc planchet. This mix-up happened during the transitional period when the Mint was phasing out copper blanks and introducing zinc ones. Somehow, a few copper planchets were left in the machinery and ended up being used to strike new pennies that were meant to be zinc. To the naked eye, these coins look almost identical to regular pennies. But the key difference is the weight. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. That difference might seem small, but to coin collectors and metal detectors, it's everything. So how did this 1982 no-mint mark copper penny become worth millions? Well, it all started when collectors and coin experts began identifying these transitional era coins in circulation. They realized that these were not only extremely rare but also marked a significant point in US coinage history, the change from copper to zinc. Because only a handful of these copper 1982 no-mint mark pennies were ever discovered, their rarity skyrocketed their value in the collector's market. One of the first verified examples of this rare coin was authenticated by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, one of the most trusted authorities in coin grading. The coin was confirmed to weigh 3.11 grams, proving it was made of copper and not zinc. The moment this discovery was made public, collectors went into a frenzy searching their penny jars and old coin rolls hoping to find one of their own. Over the years, only a very small number of these coins have been confirmed to exist. The extreme rarity combined with historical significance and collector demand pushed the coin's value to astronomical levels. At auctions, similar transitional era coins have fetched hundreds of thousands of dollars, and today, experts estimate that a perfect condition 1982 no-mint mark copper penny could be worth as much as $4 million. But let's break down what makes it so special and how you can check if you might have one. First, look for a 1982 Lincoln cent that has no mint mark under the date. If you see AD, that means it's from Denver and not the rare variety. Then check the date style. Both large date and small date versions exist, but the one most collectors believe is the rarest and most valuable is the small date version. Next, you'll need to check the weight. The best way to do this is by using a digital coin scale that can measure grams accurately. If your 1982 no-mint mark penny weighs around 3.11 grams, congratulations, you might be holding a copper penny. But if it weighs closer to 2.5 grams, it's the common zinc version. Now, another sign to look for is the sound and color of the coin. Copper pennies tend to have a slightly richer red-brown tone and produce a more solid, ring sound when dropped compared to the dull thud of a zinc penny. Although these are not guaranteed tests, they can give you hints before weighing. Because of how rare this transitional error is, authentication is absolutely essential. If you ever believe you've found a 1982 no-mint mark copper penny, the first step is to have it graded and certified by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will test the coin's weight, composition, and authenticity before giving it a grade that determines its market value. Now let's talk about value and demand. As of today, a verified 1982 no-mint mark copper penny in uncirculated condition is estimated to be worth around $4 million on the open market. Even lower-grade examples, if proven authentic, could still be worth tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's how powerful rarity and collector interest can be in the world of numismatics. It's important to remember that this value isn't just because it's an era coin, but also because it represents a major transitional period in U.S. minting history. Transitional errors like this are among the most sought after by collectors because they only happen in short time windows and often go unnoticed for years. Some people have even found similar transitional errors from other years, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1944 steel penny, and those coins have also sold for millions. The 1982 copper penny joins that elite group of ultra-rare transitional coins that define the boundary between two eras of coin production. Let's take a moment to imagine how this coin could have slipped through the cracks. Picture the mint in 1982, running both copper and zinc planchets side by side as they transition to the new material. A few leftover copper blanks from earlier that year or even the previous year may have been accidentally mixed into the new zinc batch. When those copper blanks got struck with the 1982 no-mint mark dies, a tiny handful of these ultra-rare coins were born. The workers at the mint probably never noticed. To them, it looked like an ordinary penny. These coins were sent into circulation, passed from hand to hand, used in change, and maybe even dropped into piggy banks, until decades later when collectors discovered their incredible secret. That's part of what makes this story so amazing. Somewhere out there, someone could still have one sitting unnoticed in a jar or drawer, not realizing they're holding a piece of American numismatic history worth millions. So what can you do today? Start by checking your old penny collections. Look through your jars, rolls, and change drawers for any 1982 pennies. You'll want to separate them by mint mark and weight. If you find a no mint mark version, weigh it carefully. If it weighs around 3.11 grams, it could be your lucky day. It's worth noting that counterfeiters have tried to alter or plate coins to imitate the rare 1982 copper penny, so that's why professional authentication is so important. Never try to sell one of these without certification because buyers will only pay top dollar for coins confirmed by PCGS or NGC. Beyond the monetary value, this coin also teaches a fascinating lesson about the evolution of U.S. coinage. Every time a major change happens in materials, designs, or production methods, there's always the chance that a few errors slip through. In the world of coin collecting, there are some truly unbelievable stories that leave collectors and treasure hunters in awe. One such story revolves around the 2001 D-Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, a modern coin that has shocked experts and collectors alike with its incredible value. Believe it or not, this single penny, minted in Denver in 2001, is now valued at a jaw-dropping $8 million. Yes, you heard that right. $8 million for a coin that most people would normally overlook in their pocket change. Today, we are going to explore the full story behind this rare and astonishing coin, why it is so valuable, what errors or features make it unique, and how you might identify one if you ever come across a 2001 Lincoln cent. So stay with me to the end, because this could be one of the most eye-opening discoveries in the world of numismatics. To begin with, let's go back to the year 2001. The United States Mint in Denver was producing billions of 1-cent coins, each bearing the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These coins were made primarily of copper-plated zinc, with a composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. For the average person, there was nothing extraordinary about these coins. They were small, common, and worth just a penny. But hidden among these billions of coins was a rare and mysterious variety that would change everything. A few coins from this batch were struck with a remarkable error, an error so unusual that it transformed an ordinary penny into one of the most expensive coins ever discovered. Now, what exactly makes the 2001 penny worth $8 million? It all comes down to a combination of minting errors, rarity, and condition. The most talked about variety is the double die obverse version. In these coins, the doubling is clearly visible in Lincoln's eyes, the date, 2001, and the lettering, "In God We Trust." When examined closely under magnification, you can see a shadow-like second image of the details, which was caused by a misalignment during the striking process. These double die errors are always highly sought after by collectors, but the 2001 version is so rare that only a handful are known to exist in pristine condition. Some experts also believe that a few of these rare 2001 Lincoln pennies were struck on the wrong planchet. Instead of being struck on the standard copper-plated zinc planchet, they were accidentally struck on a bronze or even a foreign coin planchet. This kind of minting mistake makes the coin both visually and scientifically unique. These rare planchet errors add immense value because they demonstrate an error in mint operations that would never normally escape quality control. However, mistakes do happen, and when they do, collectors pay fortunes for them. Another major factor behind the extreme value of the 2001 penny is its condition. In the coin world, condition is everything. Coins graded at the highest level, such as Mint State 68 or Mint State 69, are considered nearly flawless. If a rare error coin is discovered in such pristine condition, its value can skyrocket exponentially. The most valuable known specimen of the 2001 Lincoln penny was graded by a top professional grading service, and its condition was almost perfect. The brilliant luster, the sharpness of the details, and the clarity of the doubling made it stand out as a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. When it was auctioned, collectors from around the world fought to get their hands on it, and it ultimately sold for $8 million. But let's take a moment to understand why people are willing to pay such huge sums for coins like this. It's not just about the metal content or the face value, it's about history, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. Every rare coin tells a story of a small mistake that turned into a treasure. The 2001 Lincoln penny represents a moment in minting history when precision slipped for just an instant, creating a true masterpiece by accident. For passionate collectors, owning such a coin means holding a piece of American history that will never be repeated. The story gets even more interesting when you consider how this $8 million penny was discovered. According to reports, one of the first known examples was found by an unsuspecting individual going through their coin jar at home. They noticed something odd about the coin. It seemed slightly off in color, and the date looked doubled. At first, they thought it might be damaged, but curiosity led them to research it online. After comparing it with reference images and consulting a professional coin dealer, they realized they were holding one of the rarest modern pennies ever made. Imagine the shock of learning that a coin worth 1 cent was actually worth millions of dollars. That discovery changed their life forever. Now, let's talk about what you should look for if you want to identify one of these rare 2001 Lincoln pennies. The first thing to check is the mint mark. The D under the date indicates that it was minted in Denver. Look closely at the date and the word Liberty. If you notice any doubling, where the letters or numbers appear to have a shadow or a second impression. That's your first clue. Next, check the coin's weight. A standard 2001 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If your coin weighs closer to 3.1 grams, it may have been struck on a bronze planchet, which is much rarer. Also, pay attention to the color and surface of the coin. Some of the rare versions show a deeper, reddish tone compared to the standard bright copper color. You should also check the edges of the coin. If you see signs of an off-center strike, or if the design looks slightly misaligned, that could be another rare error type. These small differences can make an enormous impact on the coin's value. Even minor variations can turn a coin worth a few cents into one worth thousands or more. That's why it's always wise to have any unusual coin professionally examined before spending or selling it. Another fascinating aspect of this coin's value is the collector demand. The Lincoln Penny series is one of the most beloved and widely collected coin series in the United States. It began in 1909 with the introduction of the Lincoln cent featuring the wheat ears reverse. In 1959, the design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial reverse, which continued until 2008. Collectors love finding rare varieties within this long-running series because they can trace the evolution of minting technology and artistic design over more than a century. The 2001 D penny, being part of the Memorial Reverse era, holds a special place as one of the final years before the transition to the new Union Shield design in 2010. The mystery surrounding the 2001 D penny doesn't stop there. Some rumors within the coin community suggest that a small batch of experimental planchets was used at the Denver Mint around that time. These planchets may have had slightly different compositions or finishes, creating coins that look and feel different from the regular circulation cents. If true, this could explain why a few coins from 2001 D stand out so dramatically. While the U.S. Mint has never officially confirmed this theory, the existence of the $8 million specimen continues to fuel debate among experts. As for the market, the price of rare coins like this can fluctuate, but the general trend for unique coins is always upward. As the number of collectors grows and the supply of truly rare coins remains fixed, the value can only rise. The 2001 D penny that sold for $8 million might seem like an extreme case, but it sets a precedent. Other high-grade or rare examples from the same year could still be out there, hiding in jars, drawers, or old collections. Each new discovery adds to the legend and pushes the boundaries of what a modern coin can be worth. So, what should you do if you think you might have a rare 2001 D Lincoln penny? The first step is to handle it carefully. Do not clean it or polish it, as that can reduce its value significantly. Place it in a soft coin holder or plastic flip to protect it from scratches. Then, take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service. They can verify the authenticity, check for mint errors, and provide an official grade. If your coin turns out to be one of the rare varieties, it could be worth a life-changing amount of money. There are collectors and auction houses that specialize in such finds and can help you get the best possible price for your treasure. The story of the 2001 D Lincoln penny reminds us that incredible treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places. Whether it's an old jar of change, a forgotten drawer, or a coin received in daily transactions, you never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story can be worth millions. It's a reminder that history, luck, and curiosity can turn something as small as a penny into a symbol of extraordinary fortune. The 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin is one of the most mysterious and valuable coins ever discovered in the world of modern numismatics. Believe it or not, a single 1986 Lincoln penny without a mint mark has shocked collectors and experts with an unbelievable current market value of $6 million. This coin, which most people would consider just an ordinary penny, hides a story of rarity, error, and fortune that every coin collector dreams about. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating history, the details, the errors, and the reasons behind why this 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is valued at such an extraordinary amount. So stay tuned, because this story could change the way you look at every penny in your pocket. The Lincoln cent has been part of American coinage since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny became one of the most collected coins in U.S. history. Over the decades, this coin has undergone several changes, from the wheat reverse design used between 1909 and 1958, to the memorial reverse introduced in 1959, and later to the Union Shield reverse starting in 2010. However, the 1986 penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse Series, which was minted from 1959 to 2008. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most 1986 pennies were produced at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The coins made in Denver bear the small letter D beneath the date, while those from San Francisco have an S mint mark and were often proof coins for collectors. But coins made in Philadelphia traditionally carried no mint mark at all. However, there's a twist. The 1986 no mint mark penny that has taken the numismatic world by storm isn't just any Philadelphia strike. It's a very special era coin, unlike the billions of ordinary 1986 Lincoln cents made that year. To understand its value, let's first talk about how rare this coin is. In 1986, the U.S. Mint produced over 4.9 billion pennies in Philadelphia alone. That's billions with a B. So how can one be worth $6 million? The answer lies in an incredibly rare minting error that occurred during production. In the world of coin collecting, mint errors can drastically increase a coin's value. Sometimes the dies used to strike coins are misaligned, doubled, or even used with the wrong planchet. In this case, the legendary 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny is believed to have been struck on a bronze planchet rather than the copper-plated zinc planchet used that year. Starting in 1982, the U.S. Mint transitioned from 95% copper pennies to a cheaper copper-plated zinc composition to save money. But somehow, in 1986, one or possibly a few leftover bronze planchets were accidentally used, creating one of the rarest modern errors ever known. This error makes the coin's weight different from an ordinary penny. The standard 1986 copper-plated zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, while the bronze planchet version weighs around 3.1 grams. That difference may seem tiny, but to collectors and experts, it's a major clue that separates an ordinary cent from a multi-million-dollar rarity. What's even more fascinating is that the coin's surfaces show characteristics typical of a high-quality strike, meaning it may have been struck with extra pressure or from a newly polished die. The no mint mark version with this unique composition and sharp details gives it a stunning appearance, which adds to its mystery and appeal. Experts and professional grading companies have authenticated the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny, confirming it as a genuine mint error and not a counterfeit or altered coin. Coins like this are typically examined under magnification to study their composition, weight, and microscopic die markers that reveal how and where they were made. The rarity of this specific coin has caused bidding wars at major auction houses. Collectors from all around the world have been eager to own a piece of numismatic history, which explains how the price reached a staggering $6 million. Now, let's talk about what makes collectors so obsessed with such coins. The excitement of finding an error coin comes from the possibility that anyone could find one in their spare change. Imagine pulling a 1986 penny from your pocket, only to later discover it's worth more than a luxury home or a supercar. That's the dream that keeps thousands of people searching through jars, rolls, and boxes of pennies every single day. Many people wonder how to identify such a rare coin. The first step is to carefully examine the coin's weight using a precise digital scale. If your 1986 no mint mark penny weighs closer to 3.1 grams instead of 2.5 grams, that's an early sign it might have been struck on a bronze planchet. The second thing to check is the color and surface texture. Bronze coins have a richer reddish-brown tone, while copper-plated zinc coins often look slightly duller or have small spots of zinc corrosion. Third, pay attention to the sound. Bronze coins have a slightly different ring when dropped gently on a hard surface, compared to the duller sound of zinc-based coins. Another reason behind the astronomical price of this coin is its pristine condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional services like PCGS and NGC, where 70 represents a perfect, flawless coin. The 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that sold for $6 million was reportedly in near-perfect condition, with sharp details on Lincoln's portrait, clean fields, and a brilliant red luster. Such high-grade examples are extremely rare, especially for coins that circulated during the 1980s when pennies were heavily used in daily transactions. The story of this coin also represents the unpredictable nature of the coin market. Sometimes, a coin with a small error or variation can stay unnoticed for decades until a sharp-eyed collector or metal detectorist spots it. Once authenticated, the buzz spreads quickly across the coin community, and the value skyrockets as more collectors compete to own the unique piece. The 1986 no-mint mark penny has become a symbol of hope and excitement for everyday people. It reminds us that rare treasures can still be hiding in the most ordinary places. You might find one in your loose change, in a coin jar, or even tucked away in an old collection inherited from a relative. This possibility keeps collectors searching, and keeps the story of coins like this alive. Let's also take a look at how the design itself plays a role in the coin's lasting popularity. The obverse, or front, features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design so timeless that it's still in use over a century after its debut. The reverse side, showing the Lincoln Memorial, connects directly to American history and patriotism. Together, these elements make even the most common penny an instantly recognizable symbol of the United States. The extraordinary 1986 no-mint mark penny shows that even in modern times, minting errors can create extreme value. While older coins often owe their worth to their age or silver content, modern coins like this one prove that rarity and error can turn a 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Experts predict that if another 1986 no-mint mark bronze penny were ever discovered, it could potentially fetch an even higher price at auction, depending on its condition and provenance. This means that collectors and investors are constantly on alert, studying every coin that crosses their hands, hoping to make the next big discovery. If you ever come across a 1986 penny with no-mint mark, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take the time to weigh it, inspect it under good light, and maybe even consult a professional coin grader. You never know, you could be holding one of the most valuable coins in the world. What's truly amazing about this story is how a single cent can capture so much attention and imagination. It's a reminder that history, craftsmanship, and chance all play a role in the value of coins. Whether it's an old wheat penny, a double-die error, or a modern bronze planchet mistake like this one, each rare find adds to the fascinating story of American coinage. So the next time you get change at a store, take a closer look at your pennies. That small, forgotten coin at the bottom of your pocket might just be worth a fortune. The 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny has proven that even in the most unlikely of places, hidden treasures still exist. In conclusion, the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, with its accidental bronze composition, pristine condition, and fascinating error origin, stands as one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever found in the modern era. With a current market value of $6 million, it has made history and inspired countless collectors to keep searching. This coin is more than just a piece of metal, it's a symbol of discovery, luck, and the incredible stories hidden within everyday change. The 1997 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin is one of the most surprising and valuable coins ever to exist in modern U.S. coinage history. Most people think that pennies from the 1990s are ordinary and worthless beyond their 1-cent face value, but there are certain rare varieties and minting errors that have transformed some of these coins into million-dollar treasures. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1997 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has stunned collectors and investors alike with its incredible $10 million current market value. So stay tuned until the end, because you might have one of these ultra-rare coins sitting unnoticed in your pocket change or coin jar right now. The Lincoln 1-cent coin has been one of the longest-running series in American coin history. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, this coin replaced the Indian head cent and quickly became a national symbol of pride. Over the years, it has gone through a few design changes, but the classic image of Lincoln on the obverse has remained nearly the same for more than a century. By 1997, billions of pennies were minted at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. But among those billions, a few rare and mysterious no-mint mark varieties slipped through the cracks, changing the world of coin collecting forever. Normally, coins produced in Philadelphia during the 1990s carry no mint mark, while those made in Denver have a small letter D and those from San Francisco have an S. So, at first glance, a 1997 no-mint mark penny might seem ordinary because Philadelphia coins traditionally do not include a mint mark. However, the rare version that has caught the attention of collectors is not just a regular Philadelphia strike. This unique penny was produced due to a dramatic minting error combined with an extremely limited release, making it an extraordinary collectible worth millions. Let's explore how this happened. During the 1990s, the U.S. Mint transitioned from using copper-based planchets to copper-plated zinc planchets. Each penny from 1982 onward was supposed to weigh about 2.5 grams and contain 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating. However, a few 1997 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover copper planchets intended for earlier years. These copper planchets weigh about 3.11 grams, and if you happen to find a 1997 penny that's slightly heavier, that's your first major clue that you could be holding a multimillion-dollar coin. But that's not the only reason this coin is so valuable. Some examples of the 1997 no-mint mark Lincoln cent were struck with doubled dies on the obverse, meaning you can see a distinct doubling effect on Lincoln's date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." When combined with the wrong planchet composition, this minting error creates an extremely rare hybrid coin. It's the combination of these rare features, an off-metal composition, doubling, and minting precision, that has driven collectors wild and elevated the value of this coin to a staggering $10 million in top-grade condition. Now, let's talk about condition, because in coin collecting, condition means everything. A 1997 penny in circulated or worn condition might still be worth only a few cents, but a rare era coin in pristine uncirculated condition, especially one certified by a top grading company like PCGS or NGC, can fetch astronomical sums. The coin that reached the $10 million valuation was reported to be in nearly flawless mint state condition, showing incredible luster, sharp detail, and no signs of circulation. To put things into perspective, even small differences in quality can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars in value. A slightly scratched version of the same coin might sell for $100,000, but the perfect gem mint version is what the collectors and investors crave, and that's what pushes the value into the multimillion-dollar range. The story behind the discovery of this rare coin is equally fascinating. According to several reports in the coin collecting community, one of these rare 1997 no-mint mark pennies was first discovered by an ordinary collector in the late 2000s who was sorting through a large bag of pennies from a local bank. Initially, the coin didn't seem special, but upon weighing it and examining it under magnification, the collector noticed unusual characteristics: a slightly heavier weight and faint doubling on Lincoln's date. After sending it for professional grading, the coin was authenticated as a unique transitional error struck on a copper planchet instead of the intended zinc one. This discovery sent shockwaves through the coin world and immediately placed the coin among the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever found. The coin's value skyrocketed because of its rarity and condition, but also due to the story behind it. Collectors love mystery and history combined, and this coin had both. Imagine finding a coin worth more than a luxury mansion sitting in your loose change. That's exactly what makes coin hunting so exciting and unpredictable. Experts believe that only a handful of these 1997 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies exist today, and many might still be undiscovered. Because of how coins circulate for decades, it's entirely possible that one of these ultra-rare coins could still be in a cash register, piggy bank, or old jar of coins in someone's attic. That's why checking your pennies carefully is so important. If you want to look for this rare penny, here's what you need to do. First, check for the mint mark area. If there's no mint mark, that's a start. Next, weigh your penny on a precise digital scale. If it weighs around 3.11 grams instead of 2.5 grams, that's a major red flag indicating a possible copper planchet. Then, examine the coin under magnification and look for doubling on the date or inscriptions. If you find those features, you could have a fortune in your hands. The reverse side of the 1997 Lincoln penny still features the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which had been used since 1959. However, some error examples show weak strikes or die cracks, especially around the steps of the memorial. These small details add even more uniqueness to the coin, as collectors love minting anomalies that make each coin one of a kind. The coin market today is driven not just by historical coins but by modern rarities like this one. Investors from around the world are constantly looking for the next big discovery, and coins like the 1997 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny represent an opportunity to own a piece of numismatic history that blends rarity, mystery, and value. With current demand at an all-time high, the value of this penny is expected to continue increasing over the next few years, possibly surpassing $12 million at auction if a pristine specimen reappears. Many coin enthusiasts compare this 1997 penny to the famous 1943 bronze Lincoln cent, which also became legendary for being struck on the wrong planchet. Those coins have sold for millions, and the 1997 version continues that same legacy into the modern age. It's proof that even in our time, minting errors still happen and that hidden treasures can still be found in ordinary circulation. This rare penny serves as a powerful reminder that numismatic treasures are everywhere if you know what to look for. The world's most valuable coins are often discovered by ordinary people, not professional collectors. Every time you receive change, there's a small chance that one of those coins might be worth a fortune. So before you toss your pennies aside or take them to a coin machine, make sure to check the dates carefully. Collectors recommend using proper lighting and a magnifying glass or microscope to inspect coins for subtle details. Look for irregularities, weight differences, or color variations. The copper-based pennies from 1997 have a slightly redder hue than the zinc ones, so color can also be an early clue. Another important aspect to remember is preservation. If you suspect you have a rare coin, avoid cleaning it. Cleaning can damage the surface and drastically reduce the value. Instead, store it safely in a protective coin holder and consult a professional grading service. They can confirm authenticity and give you an official grade, which is essential for determining its true market value. The coin market has grown rapidly, with collectors and investors around the world paying top dollar for rare US cents. Auctions have seen record-breaking sales, and coins that were once thought to be ordinary are now fetching millions. The 1997 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny has joined that elite group, reminding us that even modern coins can have monumental worth. As of today, the highest known sale for this coin stands at around $10 million for a top-graded example. That's an amount that could change someone's life forever. Imagine turning a single penny into generational wealth, all because you took the time to look a little closer. So, the next time you come across a 1997 penny, don't overlook it. It could be the most valuable thing you ever find. Always weigh your coins, look for errors, and pay attention to mint marks. The rare 1997 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny continues to captivate collectors and remains a shining example of how even the smallest coin can hold unimaginable value.